So about 2 days ago, the creative director, art director, and narrative director for AC Mirage didn't ask me anything on Reddit, where we got a lot of new details and information. Each of them answered some fan questions, and we learned some things many people have been wondering about ever since Mirage was officially announced. And bravo, Ubisoft Bordeaux. I've already been saying how I like how they've handled displaying Mirage thus far and talking about it in the dev diaries, and this is just another example of them making efforts to interact with the community and show transparency. Such a nice breath of fresh air. Now, a lot of people asked questions on this thing. I completely missed it, my bad. Otherwise, I might have asked some questions myself. In this video though, I'm just going to go over some of the main pieces of information I gathered from this, along with some neat little details. Plenty of people asked questions I was already wondering, like Leo K, for example, who I'm a huge fan of, by the way. Been watching him for a long time. And one of the questions he asks, which I know a lot of people have been curious about, is how parkour ejects will work in Mirage. Unfortunately, it's not great news, but in all fairness, I wasn't really expecting Mirage, from what we had already seen, to have side and back ejects like the old games. And the creative director confirmed that we won't have ejects like the pre-AC3 era. It'll be similar to how they functioned in the RPG games, which side and back ejects do still exist, but they are so situational and restricted, they might as well not even be there. In the old games, you could eject anywhere. It didn't even matter if you'd fall to your death. The game would let you do it and give freedom over your movement, whereas in the newest games, you can only pull these moves off in very specific positions, and whatever you eject to has to be really close. It won't let you eject to something at any kind of significant distance. So it's there, but not really. I know a lot of people are probably disappointed to hear the old system won't be returning in regards to ejects, but again, I was already expecting that to be the case. The next bit of interesting information revealed is that Mirage will have legacy outfits, with Altair's being directly confirmed. I think this is probably something we've come to expect from new AC games, but it's good to have confirmation, and I'm excited to see what Basm looks like in these outfits. Playing as an actual assassin, these legacy robes will fit and not look out of place like they can on a Viking or mercenary, for example. I do hope we get some more unique legacy outfits though. Like, I'm expecting Altair and Ezio, of course, because we always get those, but maybe Connor's outfit, Arno's, Aguilar's, maybe even Ezio's Revelations outfit. Just ones we haven't seen in a while. But using the Altair outfit with a nostalgic filter is gonna be really cool. Next, I found this very important news. No DLC or post-launch content planned for Mirage, at least currently. Who knows, if the game does really well, maybe that's subject to change, but honestly, I'm okay with this. I don't think these games need to be live service. I mean, an expansion may have been cool, but I don't even know if there would be room for that if this game ties directly into Valhalla. But with Codename Red rumored to be coming out next year, and Mirage meant to be more of an in-between game, I'm not shocked to find out there's no DLC plans. We got useful information about the crowd blending. Turns out you'll be able to automatically blend in with any NPCs so long as they aren't children, and there's 3 of them. You also won't need to hold a button to do it like in Valhalla, you'll just automatically blend in. We could kind of already tell that was the case from the gameplay walkthrough, but I was still very happy to hear this. Social stealth making an actual return here is one of the things I'm most excited for. We also learned that aside from the very first target in Baghdad, we are going to have the complete freedom to assassinate the main targets of the game in whatever order we see fit. Love this. Being granted that freedom and allowed to investigate and assassinate at our own pace is great news for me. Again, it reminds me of AC1, but more open up and ended. There were certain points in AC1 where you could choose which target to go after first, but having the choice for all of the targets, except the first one in Mirage, sounds great. On top of that, we will gain a rank and new tool each time we assassinate a target, again, kind of reminiscent of the original game. One of the biggest new things we learned, though, is the structure of the side content. So, on top of the contracts from the Hidden One bureaus we already saw in the gameplay walkthrough, the world events from Valhalla will be returning as well. Now, there were some mixed feelings about the world events in Valhalla. I actually really liked the idea, but I think the issue with Valhalla is that they replaced the side quests with these world events. Meanwhile, in Mirage, we'll have side quests and contracts along with these world events, which I think is the way to go. I can already imagine exploring Baghdad and just stumbling upon a random world event and giving you some kind of short but fun little distraction, whether it's narratively or gameplay wise, so I'm personally glad those are returning. All of the contracts in Mirage are handcrafted and limited in number as well, so they aren't just randomly generated, copied and pasted contracts, which I think is a good thing. We found out each tool except the torch has 3 different tiers that can be upgraded. 2 of the examples listed by the creative director was an upgrade to the smoke bomb that releases a healing vapor for Basm, and the throwing knives can be upgraded to deal more damage. I do hope headshots will deliver consistent one-shot kills, but we'll see. Maybe it depends on the specific enemy type. And I imagine the upgrades for the blow dart will give you the berserk and poison darts as well. As for the upgrades to the poison mines and noisemakers, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm interested in the potential of what you can do with all of your tools in the late game once fully upgraded. This next bit of information isn't really relevant to the gameplay itself, but it was interesting. Someone asked when Mirage was changed from a DLC for Valhalla into a full game, where the narrative director actually said it was only a few weeks after they started working on it when they realized the potential of Basm as a character and Baghdad as a setting and turned it into a full game. So very early on in production, that switch was made. And again, that's how so many of the games in this series started out, so I'm not concerned about that. There will be no hood toggle in Mirage, so the hood will always be on. Maybe that disappoints some people, but I would never remove the hood anyways, so I was happy to hear this. However, there are some costumes in the game that we've already seen where Basm is not wearing a hood, including the Street Thief outfit, which will be equipable even later on in the game. On top of this, we got to look at some of the more outfit dyes, and they look so sick. Can't wait to get into the customization. Plus, with all the mods people are going to be able to create, we got the confirmation that assassin recruits will not be in the game. It makes sense since Basm is still new to the Hidden Ones and wouldn't already have underlings to control. Plus, if that was actually a feature, I feel it's something they would have unveiled already. I did have a theory that one of the skills in the last dev diary they showed may have had something to do with fellow Hidden Ones, but seemingly that's not the case, so I'm still very curious what that mysterious skill is. And then one last and rather small thing is that there will be credits once we finish the game, which wouldn't normally be of note if the last few games had credits. Some of them had them after you got the hidden ending or whatever, but like the old games, when Mirage ends, we should see the credits. There's quite a few more details, but these were the significant things that I gathered that caught my eye. Feel free to look through the Reddit post if you want to see some of the other questions they answered, but all in all, this was very helpful to getting more insight on Mirage. Again, very thankful the developers were willing and wanting to do this. It goes a long way, and again, to me, it just speaks that they actually care. And they even stayed over an extra hour longer than the event was supposed supposed to be to answer more questions. This doesn't happen with every game. But anyways, let me know what you thought some of the most interesting details were from this AMA and your reaction to the news. As always, if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and considered subscribing to the channel if you're new. Special thank you to my members for supporting me, and other than that, thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day, Assassins.